wilted and whimpering, dry and abandoned, thirsty and searching for just a sip of mercy, but all I can see ends up being a mirage. Raindrops seem to skip me like rocks. Why am I so easy to leave? Unpicked, unable to speak. Being unheard is the same as being unseen. Wilted and afraid, regretful and ashamed, unaware of habitual harassment, my petals are stained, some are absent. Checkmate, covered in dirt. Pretending I hate is more acceptable than admitting I hurt. Wilted and tormented, my torrential tears aren't enough to nourish this thirst. My roots are anchored in a shadow. The sun simply burns my bloodshot eyes and shines a spotlight on the evidence that I'm rotten. Forgotten. Potpourri may be my only chance to be severed from these roots that choke me. Yes, they'll just burn me to make use, mixing my dry skin with spice, stirred in a bowl to soothe. They'll inhale the scent of my remains and recline in their careless domain where I wasn't suitable to grow. I know I'm not presentable to show. A vase would reject me. Lace would likely disrespect me. They'd never want me to be seen. I'd never be cast for the scene where the girl in love peels back the layers of me, asking my petals to answer her hopeful question. Does he love me? However, I can't help but notice the dirt that splashes on me is the same as all the others. So why am I so ashamed of my distressed colors? Wilted and confused, now intimate with abuse, I felt charmed with the false yet friendly feeling of darkness. It became comfortable, almost serene, like a leaf floating gently down the stream, alone with my thoughts, wishing daydreams would intervene. But I'm starting to see a homecoming, a cheer for the winning team. My jersey that reads misery is no longer an option. Despair has revealed itself as a prison cell, and I seek adoption. I can't cower forever in the familiar shade I was planted in, like a recluse that got caught, entangled in a web she didn't spin again and again and again. I need to lean into the light. Wilted and molting, fever is melting the memories my trauma froze. Time lapse, dripping like wax, petals dance as they gracefully descend, disassembling in the wind until all that's left is a bare stem. Wilted and kneeling, I spent so much time feeling overwhelmed, striving to pick up the fallen petals, prying them off the ground, desperately trying to rehydrate them. I'd hold them together with faux strength, coping, only coping, by coloring them in with leftover paint, hoping I'd pass as a living rose. But it would never last. I'd start itching from the dryness, a rash that resembled shyness, unmasked. I hid my puncture wounds tucked inside my mind as I continued to collapse. I feared relapse as I watched petals I was so attached to fade to black. Wilted and healing, I was left skinned and peeling, in conditions so cold it took ditching my own protective petals that served as an army with shields. As they lowered their smoke screen, it allowed the gardener to mend, settle, and heal my soul, transplant and expose, swarmed by thorns, recounting every petal that fell, with each one a story to tell someone else that he loves me. Never did he love me not. My soul is bought, my ground transformed, my thorns matured into sharpened swords, twisting together, resembling a crown like the one my king wore when the veil was torn. So I thought they loved me not, but who are they to save me? I'm redeemed. I'm free. And now with every petal to ever fall again, I'll always be reminded that he does love me. And though the broken pieces still have beauty, the old has passed away. My life may fade, but it will never decay as he resurrects all new petals, blooming with his name, a heavenly arrangement, a holy bouquet. He once prayed in his own garden on the eve of being betrayed and wept with precious crimson grace. Hanging on a tree, his crown sat crooked on his head. The crowd, not knowing he'd sit perfectly on a throne in just a few days, they mispronounced him as dead. Then as puddles of sovereign blood evaporated, death evacuated, he rose. And now that same crimson grace fell down on me like rain, watering the flower bed, repainting a wilted rose red.